Good evening. Welcome to our 2020-2021 school year informational meeting. I would like to introduce my assistant principal, Mr. Bayuk. Go ahead and say hi, Mr. Bayuk.
Hi, parents. Nice to meet you. Good to see you on the YouTube Live.
Our face liaison, Mr. Arana.
Good afternoon, families.
And our counselor, Ms. Tristan.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
The purpose for tonight's meeting is to give you some updates on what to expect and help you prepare for the upcoming school year. So some of the topics that we will cover today. Oh, and I'm going to pause for a second. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Mr. Gonzalez. I'm the principal of MacArthur, formerly the assistant principal of MacArthur. So I'm about 5 days into being principal. I'm excited to be here and get the school year started. We have a lot of information for you today, and so some of the topics we're going to cover are upcoming events. Important for you to know what to expect over the next 2 weeks. Distance learning plan. We will kind of get into some detail about what to expect for a daily schedule and what classes and the time frames for those classes. We're going to share kind of an exciting platform for your students called the MacArthur Canvas course. We'll talk about Tiger Connection, schedules, and the first day of school. An exciting new platform for parents to communicate with school staff members. It's called ParentSquare. And introduce you to some of our office staff so you know who you're talking to when you call or if you should happen to stop by the office.
All right, we're going to go over some of the upcoming events that are happening here as we get closer to the start of the school year. And as you may know, the district did change the student start date to Monday, August 17th. So that is official. That is a change from the original start date of August 10th. So we just want to make sure everyone is knowledgeable of that fact, that school does start for students on Monday, August 17th. And we have events happening this week that we want to share with you. Obviously, tonight is our parent meeting where we're going to go over some important information on what school is going to look like in distance learning. And we're also going to update you on program verification, which is happening toward the end of the week. We are having another parent meeting tomorrow, and that parent meeting is in Spanish. So if you have friends who go to the school or other parents you know who speak Spanish, then you want to let them know that tomorrow there's a 4 o'clock meeting, also on YouTube Live, but 100% in Spanish. On Thursday and Friday, we have our program verification, which is going to run from 8 to 12. And in a little bit, we're going to go over what that looks like. And then we also have a parent Q&A, which is going to take place Thursday at 3 p.m. And this will be on YouTube Live again. And there's no presentation for us. It's just a time for you as a parent, if you have any questions, and it's a dedicated time for you to ask those questions. Today, we will try to take your questions toward the end of the presentation, time permitting. But if we don't get to them all, then we have set aside an extra time to be able to answer your questions. So let's talk a little bit about program verification. Obviously, if you're a returning MacArthur parent, program verification is going to look different. If you're new to our school, then this is our program verification. Obviously, we are working under the constraints of COVID-19. We're not able to have everyone gather as we would normally do a program verification and the hustle and bustle of how it's normally done. So instead, we're opting for a drive-through option, which is definitely going to be safer. There's no need for you to get out of your car. You'll simply follow the path, and you can see there the red path is the entry path. So you're going to go ahead and come down the street, enter through the second gate there. We're going to have you loop around in order to maintain enough space for as much cars as we do not want to cause traffic to back up on the street. You're going to drive through our back alleyway, come to where the basketball courts are following that red path, and then you're going to stop at Station 1. Station 1 is going to be where you're going to pick up your child's class list. Now, I know some parents may be wondering, does my child have to be present? So obviously, we would love to see your child. They are a MacArthur student, so we're going to have staff and office staff, and also some teachers are going to be present, so we would love to see your child there, but they are not required to come if they're not able to. So they're going to pick up their class list. This is going to tell them what their classes are, and we will need that information in the next station so we can make sure you get the appropriate books. If you are a returning MacArthur student and you have any other textbooks or teacher books that you need to return, you can also drop them off at this station, as well as pick up a Chromebook if you need one. Once you complete station 1, then you'll be routed to one of 3 lanes. There's a 6th grade lane, 7th grade lane, and 8th grade lane. In those lanes, there will be a staff member there to take the class list. There's a barcode on it. They'll scan it, know who your child is, give you the set of textbooks you need checked out to your child, and then you make your way to the exit following the green path on your way out. There will be a station set up on the exit where you could potentially purchase some MacArthur gear from an outside vendor if you would like before you exit. The next thing we're going to talk about is distance learning expectations. So if you are a 6th grade parent, then you probably already saw a similar slide to this in our Tiger training presentation. And if you're a returning parent, this may be something that is new. We are starting our year with distance learning. So we're not in a condition in the state of California right now where the governor has allowed students to return physically on site for learning in a physical or hybrid sense. So 100% we're going to be doing our learning through distance learning. Some of the expectations that we'd like you to consider for your child as they're working on their schooling this year is to provide a distraction-free environment. So as they're working on their distance learning, they're able to get on their Chromebook, get on their device, participate in their learning in a distraction-free environment. In online meetings, we want to make sure your child understands that they should always start with their camera on and their microphone off. Teachers will direct you when you can turn your camera off, but for attendance purposes, the camera must be on so we know that your child is present. Obviously, we want to follow rules and be respectful of everyone when we're participating in online learning. You want to encourage your child to complete all their assignments and tasks on time, and of course attend on time and participate in all sessions. In a later slide, we're going to go over the schedule so you can see what that looks like. And like I said previously, attendance will be taken daily, and that is why it is important that your child start with their camera on so we can see that they are present.
We're going to go over a few terms to help us understand the rest of this presentation. The first term is synchronous. Synchronous time is live instruction every day before lunch. So we'll share a schedule with you in the next slide. And when we refer to synchronous instruction, we mean the time where it's face-to-face teaching and learning that happens together at the same time via video conferencing. And that may be Zoom, it could be Google Meets, it could be one of the other platforms that our teachers may be using. The term asynchronous time refers to learning that happens in teacher office hours or tutoring after lunch. Students access learning at different times, so it could be independent work that they do for homework through one of our learning management systems known as Canvas or Google Classroom, and it could be a combination of that. So there's synchronous learning and then asynchronous time or learning. The schedule here, if you look at it, it starts at 7:50, just like a regular school day at MacArthur, and ends at 2:25. And on Wednesdays, on modified days, it still ends at 1:20 p.m. Students will have 4 hours of synchronous learning each day before lunch. Attendance will be taken every period that they attend that day. Students may get lunch from any school site, and those hours will be announced by each school site, and we'll share that with you when we get those. After lunch, students will attend tutoring or teacher office hours for additional support, and this is when we refer to asynchronous. So if they're struggling in math and they need additional support in math, they could drop into the office hours of their math teacher or their social studies teacher. Wherever they need the help, their teachers will be available until 2:25 at least. Uh, there we go. I was having issues with the PowerPoint.
All right. The next thing we want to let you know about is our MacArthur Virtual Campus Canvas course. If you are a returning MacArthur student, you may recall the wonderfully well organized hub that was on our website that provided you with all of the information you needed in an easy to read format. But we thought we could top that and make it even better by creating a Canvas course which will serve as your MacArthur virtual campus. So think of it like your online school to find out all the information you need at a glance as you proceed to your Canvas course. Now, I know we're talking about Canvas and maybe some of you aren't familiar with that. I will assure you that in a future slide coming up, we are going to talk about how you access Canvas. So that is coming up. Canvas is basically an online learning management system. It's a website that you're going to log into, and it's going to present you with modules and information. We ask that all students be enrolled in this Canvas course, and so we're going to make sure to do that. Students, when you sign on to Canvas, you're going to see an invitation to join, and you would have gotten an email through your SAUSD Learns letting you know about that. This will provide a single source of communication to all of our students, and the expectation is that students should check in this website or this Canvas course daily for any kind of announcements. This Canvas course will also provide links to teacher pages, clubs, tutoring schedules, and other helpful resources. Parents, you're part of the fun too. You can, through your child, be linked in and view this course as well, just like any other Canvas course that your child is connected to. Okay, we're going to play a short video on how to connect to Canvas. Now, this was a great video created by one of our teachers, Mr. Celestino. It was created for the purpose of teaching sixth graders for Tiger training, so you may hear him refer to Tiger training, but the concept is the same. You basically will watch it here. It lasts about 5 minutes, and he's going to go over the steps you need to follow to log into Canvas. So if your child is with you, they might want to just take note. This meeting will be posted on YouTube as soon as the meeting is done. So if you want to come back and watch this video again so that you could practice and be ready for that first day of school, that would be great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and transition to that, and we'll see you back in about 5 minutes.
The Tiger training for this year's incoming sixth graders to MacArthur Fundamental will take place in Canvas. We have created a series of lessons and activities to teach incoming sixth graders about how to be successful during their first year at MacArthur. In order to participate in this, the first step a student must do is log into Canvas. There's a chance that in elementary, many students did not ever log into Canvas, so we want to walk you through how to do that today. The first thing you'll need to do is go to the correct web address, which is sausd.instructure.com. Do not just Google Canvas login, because if you do so, you might end up at a different district or school site, and your login information won't work. You know you're at the right one, right web page, because you'll see the Santa Ana logo and the red background. For the email, it is just the student's regular Gmail account. That is their ID number at sausdlearns.net. Not literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just a placeholder. The password is going to be the student's birthday with 8 digits. 2 for the month, 2 for the day, and 4 for the year. When you successfully log into Canvas, the first screen that you'll usually see is the dashboard. Now, for those of you who are logging into Canvas for the first time, before you see this screen, you might have a couple of rights and responsibilities that you'll have to agree to give Canvas permission to use your Google access, etc. However, once you get past those permissions, you will see this screen, which once again is called the dashboard. You should have an invitation to the Tiger training up at the top, which you can accept. And once you do so, you'll see the class right on the dashboard, and you'll also be able to find it in the courses too. Find the one that says 2020 Tiger Training. Once the student accepts the course invitation from the dashboard screen, that student will have access to all the Tiger training materials. These are within this Canvas course entitled MacArthur Tiger Training. The screen you're seeing right now is the home screen. This is the first screen any student sees once they enter a Canvas course. It can always be accessed by pressing home up in the top left-hand corner. Our home screen has a little message here about the dates and the fact that students will be completing 8 modules. Those are basically the lessons that the teachers are going to guide them through. There's some helpful links at the bottom for when you get stuck or if you're previewing this course before it begins. There's a to-do list over on the right-hand side where you'll actually see some of the assignments or quizzes that you'll be participating in. Again, you won't need to do any of this independently, but for those of you who want to preview or see what the course entails, feel free to explore. Most importantly, though, what you'll need to notice is right here at the top of the screen is an announcement with the schedule for the week. This particular student has been invited into Group A. And so at 9 a.m. on each day, this student starts, and actually all students will start with his or her homeroom link. This homeroom will open up a Zoom meeting. And then at 9:25, this student would then come to the next link, and on Wednesday, the next link, and so on. And again, all of these links will open up the video conference Zoom session. Finally, I did want to show you the module screen itself. Again, teachers will be guiding the students through each of these modules. However, students, parents, feel free to preview to look at the modules that the students will be going through and all the different topics and lessons that the modules have. We can always go back to the home screen once again by pressing home. And that's basically how you get around the Canvas course for Tiger Training.
We're back. All right. Thank you for watching that video. If you need to watch it again, remember that the YouTube meeting that we're having right now is going to be posted again. It'll be posted right at the end of the meeting to watch another time. One more thing about the Canvas course that I just want to make sure and let you know about. So your child will go ahead and join the Canvas course so they can get all of that important information. And then we're also going to have their first assignment that we'd like them to complete on it. And they will actually see that assignment pop up in their Canvas course, most likely by this Thursday. And that assignment is just going to be a couple of questions for them to answer. And there'll be a due date listed on that. And if you could just remind your child to join the Canvas course and look for that assignment coming on Thursday.
All right, so Tiger Connection is something new that we are starting this year to support distance learning. We know that for your child and for all of us, distance learning last year was completely new. As your child's school counselor, for those of you that are returning families, I did reach out to many, many students over the course of our 3 or so months of distance learning just to talk about different social emotional issues that they were facing. A lot of them missed their friends. For our new Tigers this year, through Tiger Training, I've also learned some information about them, and some of them are still a little worried about COVID and just have some other concerns. So what we've done this year at MacArthur is we've created something called Tiger Connection, which is actually a class. We're going to call it seminar, so it will appear on schedule as a seminar class, but it will be a class that your child will have 4 days a week for about 30 minutes, and it's going to allow your child to connect with a staff member. So they will be assigned a teacher. They will have this teacher for the entire school year, and it's a time for them to connect with a group of their peers as well. So class sizes will be a little bit smaller in Tiger Connection, and that's designed on purpose to help each student build connections to each other, to a staff member that can serve as their mentor, and then to MacArthur in general. It will happen 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So no Tiger Connection on Wednesday. And we will have little mini lessons for them to do different social emotional learning to support their well-being. And it's a great way for the teachers that are teaching the Tiger Connection course to connect our students with resources. Like if they do need to talk with a school counselor or any other resources on campus, it'll be a good way to do that as well. So we definitely wanted to assure parents and students that we are here for you, and we do want to build that connection, and we want to make sure everybody's safe and okay, mental health wise and social emotionally. Okay, so just a quick preview of your courses or your class schedule that you're going to receive at program verification. We are going to give you a copy of your classes at the program verification this Thursday and Friday. It will not have the teacher name on there, but it will have the courses that you've been placed in or that your child's been placed in. So we will not be making schedule changes, unfortunately, unless there's a emergency where we've actually like scheduled you accidentally in 2 science classes or that type of thing. If you do have a question about your class schedules, you may email either myself or Ms. Silva, the other school counselor, if your last name starts with A through L. And of course, for those that have last names M through Z, I will be your school counselor. You will also receive the actual class schedule before the first day of school. We will send that out via email. And parents, we're also going to send you a message via ParentSquare to let you know when your child can check for their class schedule. But we just want you to take a peek at your classes right now. And next week, you will receive your class schedule via email.
All right, now on to the first day of school. Again, as we mentioned previously, the first day of school is now August 17th. School will start at 7:50 a.m. We encourage everyone to log in a little early, so that way if there's any complications, we can get you the help that you need to get you back online. Each student will attend Tiger Connection, period 1, period 2, and period 3 on that first day of school. Synchronous instruction ends at 12 p.m. Asynchronous instruction ends at 2:25 p.m. Help will be available through a Zoom helpline that morning. So if students are stuck, they will be able to click on a link and connect with one of our staff members to help them walk through the process of logging into Canvas. And the first day of school, we'll have a photo contest, and we'll have those details coming soon. I think the most important thing that you can do to prepare for that first day of school, though, is to have your student log onto Canvas now if they can. And as soon as that assignment is up and ready to go on the school-wide MacArthur Canvas course, if you could have them complete that. There's about 3 different parts to that Canvas module that they need to complete, and they're all really important in helping us have a successful first day of school. Supplies that you will need. For our 6th graders, you went through Tiger training and you've seen this list. For our 7th and 8th graders, this list should also be familiar. It's the exact same list from last year. School agenda, which we will provide for you. We have not received those yet, but as soon as we get them in, we will find a way to distribute them. You will need a 3-inch binder, six subject dividers with the name of each subject written on each tab, a well-made pencil pouch, sharpened pencils, at least 2 at all times, colored pencils, blue or black and red ballpoint or rollerball pens, lined paper. We suggest at least 50 sheets without the ragged edges, a 12-inch or metric ruler, a calculator, a compass for math, safety scissors, glue stick, an inexpensive pair of earbuds or headphones. So if there's multiple students learning in the same household, you can plug into your earbuds and listen to your teacher's instruction without being distracted by those around you. And additional supplies as specified by your different teachers. This is a suggested list. If you could get as many of these things as possible, it would help make it a successful year for your student. We do have limited supplies that we can give out. And if you need those, just send Mr. Arana an email. But those are the supplies that we feel will best prepare your student to have a successful school year. ParentSquare. So we've mentioned ParentSquare, this new platform. Previously, we used what was called ParentLink, and you would get a phone call, an email, or a text message. And ParentSquare is similar. However, you'll just get one out of the three. If the first one goes through successfully, it won't continue down the line and reach you on the other two methods. The big difference between ParentSquare and ParentLink is ParentSquare has a landing page, or kind of like a platform that parents can log into, and all the messages that we send out are saved there. And so if you missed the phone call, you missed a text message, or you accidentally delete the email, all you have to do is log into ParentSquare, and everything that we've sent out as a school is listed there, from the newest at the top to the oldest message at the bottom. It will also link to all of your students that you have at other schools within Santa Ana Unified. So it's a centralized hub for communication between staff members and parents, administrators and parents, and teachers and parents. You can create your account by using your email or phone number that's associated with your school Aries account. So whatever phone number or email you have on file with the school, you simply go to parentsquare.com, follow the directions for creating an account, and you enter in that email address or that phone number. This will replace, at some point, this will replace ParentLink, and so this will be our main source of communication in a mass communication. One of the added features of this is the messenger feature. You can direct message any of the staff members, including the administrators, and it will pop up on our ParentSquare account as a message, kind of like a text thread, and I can respond to you immediately rather than exchanging emails. So if it's a quick question, you go on and you activate the messenger feature, and you can message anybody within our school site, and when they get a chance, they will send you a message back. If you are familiar with ParentSquare, you probably already know some of these things that they're able to do, but if not, you could download the app on either the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play, or you could log on any browser at parentsquare.com.
All right, so we also wanted to remind you and show our new families who's who at MacArthur and who you can reach out to for help. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky being in the virtual world and not being able to come onto campus, but we just wanted to remind you we are here. We are still available for help and any resources that you might need. So I've listed the staff members, starting with those that are in our front office. And of course, you've met our principal, Mr. Gonzalez. We also have Mr. Cifuentes, who is going to be our interim office manager. We have Ms. Gomez, who's our registrar, Ms. Garcia in attendance, and we have Mr. Wisner, who's our testing coordinator. In our student services, we have Ms. Salazar and Mr. Cardenas that are under discipline. We have our school nurse, Ms. Haro, Mr. Bayuk, who is our assistant principal, and Mr. Bayuk and I work together as a team for the last names M through Z. And we have Ms. Silva, who's our school counselor for last names A through L. We are hoping to get a new assistant principal very soon to help us at MacArthur. In our library, we have our librarian, Mr. Mendiola, and our computer tech, Mr. Lozano. And then around our campus, we have Mr. Aguilar in custodial services. We have our DSO security guard, Mr. F. Gonzalez, Freddie Gonzalez. We have Mr. Arana, who you met, our face liaison, and our school psychologist, Ms. Sendejas. So we've also listed some of our helpline numbers. You are still welcome to call our main line, office line, when you have questions, and it will guide you to a live person during the day. We've listed our website on there that has a lot of good information. And then we have our special Tiger hotline, which we'll tell you at the end as well, but it's 323 for Tigers if you need to talk to an administrator or a school counselor. So we have missed, I know I have tremendously missed working with your child. We are so looking forward to having everybody back. And we did these little silly fun things just to remind our students last year during distance learning that we cared and we missed them a lot. So we hope to see you all soon.
Okay, now I'm going to go over some of the ways you can reach out for help with any general questions you have with the school. For general questions, you can contact the main office, and that's at 714-568-7700. And an office staff will be able to help you or direct you towards the right direction. If you have any questions, or your student has any questions, or you need to talk to a counselor or an administrator, then you can call the Tiger helpline, which is 323-4-TIGERS. And there you can call or text. And also for resources to help parents and families, or if you want to speak to myself, you can contact the MacArthur Family Resource Line at 714-497-0553. You can call or text. Also, please make sure you follow our social medias. Facebook is MacArthur FB, and then Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat. You can follow us at MacArthur FIS. We are posting on our social media constantly, so you'll get the latest and greatest information through there. So we're always here to support, so you could always reach out and ask any questions you might have, and we know we have the answer, and if we don't, we get you the answer as soon as we can.
All right, that is all we have for you today. We will stay on for a bit and answer questions in the chat room. We have these events coming up. We appreciate your flexibility. We know that things are not ideal, but we're doing the best we can to get the resources to our students that they need. Some of these things are subject to change, but we will do our best to communicate any changes that take place. We'll go ahead and focus on answering questions. Thank you guys for coming. And again, if you need to review some of this information provided today, as Mr. Bayuk mentioned, it will be available on YouTube. So you could rewatch this video, fast forward and rewind and pause so you could take notes. Again, just a reminder to have your student log on to Canvas now if they haven't done so recently. And starting Thursday, they will have an assignment that they will need to complete. I need as many of our students to complete that assignment. We need to collect some information to help us prepare for the new school year. And so we definitely need you guys to complete that Canvas assignment that we're going to post on Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and answer questions now in the chat room.